So what we're going to do is we're going to show the athletes where the idea comes from for how they pick their classes as they move forward. You know you have athletic classes that you have to enroll, but also for your major, there's something available called the college catalog. And it's actually on the main website of www.cuyamaca.edu. And you click on the current students tab, and then you can scroll down and you'll see college catalog. And then the college catalog shows you all the classes and majors we have, but it's not the class schedule. So if you click on the college catalog, and then you scroll down to part 8, which is associate degree programs. If you click on that, that is going to show you by major what you can do. It has the academic pathways in the different areas. And then down here, you see all the associate degree programs that we offer. And these are 2-year programs that you would take with the idea that you're going to use them to transfer to a 4-year when you go for a scholarship when you transfer, okay? And you can look through here and see all kinds of different majors in here. And not everybody is interested in the same thing. Just because you and your best friend enjoy a lot of the same things, your best friend might be a business major because he wants to make money and run his own business. You might be a communications major because you like to talk, you want to do public relations. So there's all kinds of different majors you can do. So as you scroll down, you go through different areas. So we have anthropology, we have child development, you keep going down. There's so many things you can be. Elementary education. And as you go down, general studies, you're going to see a lot of different options. But what we're going to start with is going to be your idea of what one is. Sometimes a lot of our student athletes want to major in psychology. So if you go to the associate degree for transfer, the ADT or associate degree for transfer guarantees you a spot at like a college like San Diego State. So this tells you right here, it tells you what the program's about. It tells you the requirements down here. It has the program learning outcomes. And then here it tells you, here's the core curriculum you have to take. So you see these courses right here, Psychology 120, Psychology 205, Psychology 215. So when you figure out what major you want, this college catalog will tell you what classes you have to take. So then you just go in and you find all the classes you need, and that is the basis for what you're going to take in your time at Cuyamaca, okay? And if you don't know what your major is going to be, that's a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is, Javier, if we can use this core curriculum for psychology, and we're going to use the green sheet for CSU, kind of how does this work with the green sheet? Does that make sense?
Yep, I can go over that.
Okay, so I'm going to stop my share, and Javier is going to take over, but all of the majors and what you have to take for them are in the college catalog. You just want to make sure you take a degree program and not a certificate program. Certificate programs aren't for transfer. The degree programs are. So, Javier, I'll let you go from here.
Okay, perfect. Hold on one sec here. I'm going to pull up the green sheet for you guys so you can see. I'm going to share my screen as well. Hey, Pat, I'm not able to share my screen.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so it says it's disabled by participant.
How about now?
All right, there we go. Perfect. So, are you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
All right, good. So what coach is referring to when he's saying the green sheet, when we have it printed out in my office, they're technically green. On here, you can see it's white, but it's not the issue. what we're looking at is these are your general education courses that you need to transfer anywhere. So any campus you go for, out of state, UCs, or CSUs, this is the one we're going to be looking at. This one is catered more to CSUs, as you can tell at the top where it says Cal State University. But these essentially are your general education courses that you need. So your college level English, your college level, second level of English, communications, your math, your science, and the rest of your Gs. As we scroll down here, these are where we're gonna rebuild your classes, build off of these actually, we'll build your coursework off these actually sheets for your general education courses. So if we scroll down here, it'll tell us exactly how many classes you need for your science. So your life science, physical science, you need a lab as well, a math course, depending on your major. And continuing going down, we need arts and humanities, 3 courses there. And again, you pick one from art, one from humanities, and the third one comes from either section. But again, that's what I'm here for, to help you navigate that. Make sure that you take the correct classes. And I'll help you to choose those courses that actually will cater to you, that you have an interest in. Not just any class, but a class that you're actually interested in doing.
Okay. Javier, so let's go back to just Area C.
Area C. Okay.
It says they have to take 3 courses, and they have to be at least 9 units, right? Total?
Yes, total.
And so and then afterwards, if you look at with at least 1 course from each category, so you don't have to take every class in here.
That's correct.
You just have to take 1 course from Area C. So there's C1, pick one of those courses. C2, one of those. And you can see there's a whole bunch to choose from. And then they have to take 1 more from C1 or C2, so they got to take 2 from one and 1 from the other.
Yes,
Javier?
that's exactly it. Yes.
And that's what Javier just said about his job is to help you kind of navigate this, because there are so many, it can get a little overwhelming which one to pick.
Yes.
Go ahead, Javier.
So again, like you said, you do need 9 units for arts and humanities, and the same concept goes for the social and behavioral. It's Area D. You need another total of 9 units from these classes here. Depending on your major as well, some of these classes will overlap. So it'll count for your general education courses and also for your major. So that might be 1 less class that you have to do. And that's where I came in. I can see what those classes are that go towards your major and towards your general education courses, which is a good thing. It'll double count. But again, we do need a total of 9 units here for the social sciences as well. Okay. And then just moving down, any questions there, Coach?
No, that's, so if you remember when I showed you the college catalog, remember under psychology, there was that list of different classes in psychology? When I showed you that, those are the classes that are particular to your major. And when Javier shows you this, there are some of those psychology classes that probably satisfy some of those areas. So when you show, when you look at what they have, what you have to take, it's not necessarily taking both. So it's important that you kind of make your ed plan and understand that there are certain courses. So Javier, you're now showing back to that psychology ADT, associate degree for transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Is Psych 120, does that satisfy one of the areas?
Yes, it does. So that's actually what I wanted to go over. So Psych 120 will qualify or will satisfy a class for your major and also a class for your general education. So under Area D, you'll see Psychology 120 right here. So it'll count for your general education and for your major. So that's 1 less class that you have to do for the major, essentially, because it'll count for both. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect. That was perfect.
Okay.
So when you get down to what's after Area E, what is the U.S. History, Constitution, and America Ideals requirement?
So this one actually has the classes listed. These classes are not for graduation or for transfer, actually. These are classes that you're going to be taking when you transfer to San Diego State, to UCSD, to any other campus. We encourage our students to take it with Cuyamaca because you save money, it's cheaper, and that's one more less class that you have to do when you transfer. This actually requirement is actually for graduation for when you transfer at the other campus, not our campus. But we do put it on here to have students take it since it counts while you do it here at Cuyamaca. Okay.
So if the ADT for transfer is a 60 unit limit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And if they take these other classes, will that take them over the 60 unit limit?
Yes, it will. It will take them over the 60 units. They have a threshold of about 60 to 70 units, typically, where you're looking at with electives. And these are some of the electives that I tell my students to take, regardless of where they're going, just so they have that out of the way. And some of these classes will actually count for your general education courses as well. You can see here on Area D, History 108 and History 109 are both there. So not only will it count for your general education courses if you take it in Area D, but it'll also count for graduation when you transfer. So that's one of the things that I tell my students to take. It'll just help you in the long run.
Okay. So what we'll do now is Javier, we'll stop the recording. Or actually, do you want to present the IGETC, or do you think we're going to get overwhelm people if we do that?
I mean, I can just say a few things about it, but not go over it in depth. That's something I can do in our meeting one-to-one. But I'll go over it just so you know that this is not the only setup of classes that we have. There is another package of classes that we have if you are going to UC's private schools or out-of-state schools. Okay, do you just maybe
Perfect.
minutes?
Okay, so every college has a certain set of classes they want you to take to accept you. The California state system are schools like Fresno State, Cal State Northridge, San Diego State. If they have state in the name, that's a CSU college, okay? Now, there's other schools like UC San Diego, UCLA, UC Davis. Those are the University of California system, and they have a slightly different requirement, and that's what this is for. This is, Javier is going to show you what the UCs will want because it's different from the CSU system. Go ahead, Javier.
That is correct. So just for example, right now, if we take a look at the screen, you can see here for critical thinking, they give you a few different options, right? And again, this is for the CSU, California State Universities, like Coach mentioned. Now let's transition to the IGETC, which is UCs and out-of-state schools. This is the one that we follow. You're gonna see right away for critical thinking, they make you take the 124. So when it comes to this plan, the only thing I can say that they have more specific courses that you want you to take compared to giving you more options. But the coursework is very similar when it comes to the English, the math, arts and humanities, social and behavioral. As you can see here, they're all very similar classes. They count for both degrees of general education classes. But again, you want to make sure that you let me know where you're planning to transfer to, or if you're playing a sport, I'm thinking of getting recruited to this school, or these other schools or UCs or out-of-state schools. This is the one I'm going to put you on because this is going to open up the doors for everything. Actually, that GETC will get you into CSUs, pretty much everything. This is the more confident one that we advise on when it comes to that. If you're strictly going to a CSU, you're like, what, I'm going to San Diego State, I don't want to go anywhere else, then we focus on this one, the CSU one, okay? I don't want to get you too confused because there are slightly differences with that GETC, but just know that there is a different plan if you are thinking of going to a UC or out-of-state school, okay? And that's where I come in and kind of walk you through that process.
So go ahead and leave that up, okay? So if you guys, I want you to think of this as kind of a game, okay? So if you look up at Area 1 English Communication, it says CSU, 3 courses required, 1 from each group. So you go down to Group A, then Group B, and Group C, and you take 1 course from each one.
Exactly.
If you want to transfer, if you go back to Area 1, where you go over, it says UC 2 courses required, 1 from each. So all you have to do is go down to that area, and when you print this out, you just circle 1 class. If you need 1 from each area. So that's all you have to do. Javier, go ahead and scroll down to Area 3 for me.
Okay.
So when you look at Area 3 or even Area 4, if I had just gotten to college and I had never seen this, that would make me want to quit college right there. Because that looks like you have to take 50 classes. That's not the case. If you look at the top, if you look at Area 4, Social and Behavioral Sciences, it says at least 3 courses, at least 2 disciplinary perspectives. Javier, 2 disciplinary perspectives means I can't take 2 economics classes, right? I got to take one from different subjects.
That's exactly it.
Okay. So all you're going to do is you have to think of this as grocery shopping. If I go to a really small grocery store, I don't have a lot of options. This is like going to a big grocery store where you get to pick from any of these classes. You own in area 4, you only need 3. Okay? And you can take one from anthropology, one from child development, one from communications. All of these different areas have classes that you get to pick. And part of being a college student is deciding and researching and figuring out which classes have the most interest for you. Like I had teammates when I was in college that took oceanography because they were interested in the ocean. I didn't take oceanography because I wasn't interested in the ocean. So when you go through here, you get to pick what classes you want to take, and you're going to do that for your 2 years at Cuyamaca. Okay, so all you have to do is read the gray part, the heading, 3 courses, 9 units, at least 2 disciplinary perspectives. 2 disciplinary perspectives means I got to take one from economics and one from something else, or one from geography and one from something else. I've got to pick 2 of these at least, 2 of the majors or 2 of the areas. I can't take 2 of these classes in, or 3 of these classes all in the same one. Okay. Yeah. So when you get this sheet, you can start circling and doing classes. And the college catalog I showed you has a listing of all these classes in there so you can look and see. Javier, have we started a live link to what that sheet yet, to where there's live links to each class to show a description?
No, we don't have anything like that, just the catalog itself. You'd have to go to the catalog where I'm at right now, and it says course descriptions. You just need to find the actual course in there.
Go ahead and click on course descriptions for me, part 9.
Okay. Scroll down.
And then you go ahead and scroll down. So when you're looking at all those individual classes, this is where you find them. So if I wanted to find ASL, American Sign Language 120, it's right there. ASL, American Sign Language 120.
Yes.
Okay. So the college catalog not only has your major and your classes that you need to take, it also has listings of all the classes that are offered at the college. Okay.
With the description of what that course is.
Exactly.
So you have an idea if that's something you're interested in doing, or that's where you're going to want to learn for that class.
And it also has, go ahead and look at ASL 220, go back up a little bit.
Okay.
ASL 220 has a prerequisite of a C grade or higher in ASL 121. A prerequisite is something you have to do before you take that class. So when you go to try to sign up, it will have a yellow heading that says prerequisite. So this tells you what the class is, how many hours, how many units, a course description. It tells you where it transfers to below. It tells you whether it's a CSU class, a CSU General Ed, or IGETC. So the course catalog has a lot of information. Javier, you want to go ahead and stop your share? You got a comment?
Nope, that's I mean, we answered everything. That's exactly what I wanted to get to. So that's
okay. Go ahead and let's go ahead. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we're going to ask some questions of these young men.